Welcome to the Prop Market. I'm your host, the Prop King, and today I have my 2024 Week 5 NFL prop bets. So this week is going to be a great week for us. Last week we went 3-3. I have 5 great picks for you. I'm expecting a 5-0 week this week. And with this week's slate, you can definitely tell that some of these great quarterbacks that I have for you have been devalued because of their start. So this is an opportunity. In the stock market, we talk about it. We say we're going to buy low, sell high. Well, I think this is a great opportunity here. We're going to catch some really, really, really good players at a really low number, and we're going to get our opportunity to kind of cash in on that this week. So I'm excited to see what happens here as far as these numbers, but I would get them in as soon as possible. So turn your notifications on. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of these picks. They're coming out fast. They'll change fast as well, but I think we got the best of the numbers if you're watching this show. So with all that being said, I want to get to my first pick for this week, and it's CJ Stroud. His average fantasy score is 17. His projected is at 18.4, so it's really close to the number that he's actually expected to have. But the Texans are facing the Buffalo Bills. Once again, Stephon Diggs is coming back for his old team. I think it's going to be a lot of energy there. 24.5 is the projected points for the Texans. So I see that CJ Stroud will probably accompany for about 3 touchdowns, hopefully. I don't see a world where he doesn't have 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdown passes. I also think he's going to do some things with his legs. This is going to be a higher scoring game. The total was at 47. So I really like the Texans here. I love them over 18 fantasy score. I feel like they'll go ahead and cash that in for me for CJ Stroud. I love the game script for him. I think the Texans are going to win, and I love his over 18 fantasy score. Next guy is Deshaun Watson. Here's a guy that has been faded a lot this season, but I am not going to fade him here. If you look at his average fantasy score, it looks pretty bad. It's at 14.9. And you're probably wondering, man, how do you jump to a projected fantasy score of 19.2? Well, that's because he's playing the Washington Commanders, who, in my opinion, have the worst secondary in the NFL. So, with that being said, Amari Cooper and him should hook up for some good passes. Deshaun Watson went on record last week and blamed himself for the loss, said he must be better. I feel like he's more motivated than he's probably ever has been in a long time because a lot of people are doubting him. Some people are wanting him benched. I see this as being a bounce back game for him. I like it over 17 fantasy score for Deshaun Watson. Next guy has been a guy that's been carrying us this year. We've bet on him 3 times and he's hit all 3 times. It's Lamar Jackson going against this game on the road versus the Cincinnati Bengals. 49 points total is where we're sitting at. So it's supposed to be a lot of points. I think, with that being said, Joe Burrow will play really well this game. But Lamar Jackson, he's a guy that can do it with his arm and his legs. He's a dual threat guy. So you can't just box a guy like that in, which really helps out if you think about fantasy score because you never know what's going to happen with him. He could, go try and get a lot of points with his arm, or he'll get it with his legs. Either way, he has a good opportunity of scoring. The implied total for them is at 25. I think he accounts for 2 or 3 touchdowns, um, maybe one rushing, 2 passing. I've just been riding with Lamar Jackson until he proves to us that he's not going to cash in. I like his over 21 fantasy score. I see a high usage rate for him in this game as it's going to be back and forth. Next guy is Patrick Mahomes talking about a discount. This guy is average passing yards at 226. That's pretty low for a guy who, over his career is almost at 250, 260. There is no other year where you could get this number this low minus his rookie year. Projected passing yards at 246. Man, I just love this pick. I got 3 Prop King emojis. I've never seen his number this low. A lot of it's due to his receiving core. I get it. He's missing Rashid Rice. I get a lot of these guys are unproven, but we're talking about Patrick Mahomes here. We're talking about one of the best players, maybe the best quarterback ever. As far as statistic wise, I don't see a world where he doesn't get over 233 passing yards, 234 passing yards. That's a really low number for somebody of his caliber. Um, they're going to have to probably throw the football this game. Running the football is what I'm sure New Orleans wants to come in and stop. New Orleans has shown holes in their defense. So I love this 233 passing yards for Patrick Mahomes. And now we have Dak Prescott. He's hit for us, he's lost for us, so he's 1-1 for us this year here in the prop market. But average fantasy score is at 18.2, projected at 17.6. I like his number, so I don't know about the game script as far as Pittsburgh. They have a really good defense. With Justin Fields, they can kind of like ground and pound and lower the amount of opportunities the Cowboys have. But once again, Dak, he's been pretty consistent with how he's played. It's been the people around him that has been struggling. I see him getting 2 touchdown passes this game and a little bit over 250 passing yards. Might even do a couple things with his legs. I think he needs to do more of that. I like this number over 16 fantasy score. He's hit it 3 out of 5 times, and I just think it's gotten a little too low. Remember, he started the season off at about 21 fantasy score. So this is a 5 point reduction for Dak Prescott. So once again, I love his over 16 fantasy score. Quick recap: Stroud over 18, Watson over 17, Jackson over 21, Mahomes over 233.5 passing yards, and Prescott over 16 fantasy score. If I had to pick my favorite, I would probably go with Patrick Mahomes, but I really love this 5 picks. Quality over quantity today. Not a lot of picks, but quality over quantity. If you found any of this information useful, if you like the video, like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of these winning picks that I have for you. And with all that being said, like I always say, keep what you like, leave what you don't, less cash.